Shannon, Mr. Sharp, I need an explanation for this. I need an explanation. I need an explanation. Because what did she look like back in the day? Like, uh, one sec. All right, y'all. Look, I tried to find a younger picture of her. I couldn't find it. Why her? Like, make this make sense to me. Like, is your thing like race play? Like, is that really what it is? Like, is that what you like? You like race play BDSM? Like, because if so, I mean, okay. But at the same time, that I mean, I see why you upgraded to the young girl. I see why you did, but at the same time, bro, like there should be there should be no there should be no world where she ends up in your orbit to where she can even say this. No world. You're Shannon Sharpe. You're a three-time Super Bowl winner. No, Shannon. No, no, no. Okay. No, Shannon. No. Stop it. Stop doing this shit. Stop it. This is indefensible. Okay, we're gonna get to her video. Her video's long. It's like 8 minutes, bro. I'm going in here non-biased. I haven't heard anything. I'm gonna hear her out completely and what she has to say. But y'all, I really want to tell y'all up front. I do not know how he fucked this. I don't know how he did it. My dick might jump off my body and run away. Like, there's no way. There's no way I'm hitting this. Like, that's why I tried to look for like a more flattering picture, a more flattering. Like, there's no way. Like, even if she was young, I don't. 2010, that's only 15 years younger. If 15 years makes her a baddie, what happened? What happened in 15 years? Meth? I ain't even seen meth do nobody this dirty in 15. And I mean, again, on a mature note, listen, I'm not saying that, and I want to make this clear, all jokes aside, I'm not saying unattractive women cannot be assaulted. I am not saying that. I'm not saying that at all. I want to be clear on that. However, him even approaching her, like, it raises like questions for me, eyebrows and all that. Like, I have questions that need a lot of answers, and I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna get them from him. He he has to stop. He has to stop. Settle the fuck down.
We were arguing and he was threatening me and stuff like that after, but I didn't see him again after he raped me. He wouldn't take no for an answer, so he overpowered me, put me to my knees, put his penis in my mouth.
Hold on. Shannon Sharpe ex Michele Evans sued him in 2023, claiming he. Oh wow. Her during their relationship. The suit came to light again last month after Sharpe was sued for 50 million by a second woman who also claimed he assaulted her. She has denied all claims. Sharpe has denied all claims in both suits. Okay. But he settled with her. I believe he settled with her. I believe that's what happened. And then the other woman, like, and this is why, this is a key reason why you don't do nothing. You know what I'm saying? You do right, and and you just keep to yourself, because once this snowball starts, like, you can't get in front of it. Like, if you've been a shitty person, or you've been in a place where, excuse me, you made yourself vulnerable to where people can make these type of allegations, like, you're gonna be stuck fighting this for a really long time. You're gonna be just stuck fighting it. Hold on, give me 1 second. I'm gonna switch back to my normal camera. And yeah,
We met in actually the press room at the Broncos, April of.
we met at the press room in the Broncos. Oh, look at how he looking at her, bro. Shannon Sharpe, bro. Bro, he just a dude from the country that wanted him some forbidden fruit. I get it. I get it. I get how he got there. I don't think it's acceptable. I don't think the race play fantasy is acceptable. But yeah, he has to stop.
2002, and but we didn't start talking until we met up at a club at Blue 67 in Denver. I don't know if anyone is listening from Denver, but yeah, we were at a club at the same time. We didn't go together. We just happened to both be there, and so he started talking to me, and started pursuing me pretty heavily from then on. I resisted for a while because I was a reporter, and I didn't want to mix the two. But he's very charming.
Viewers may find the rest of the interview triggering or disturbing. Hey, so listen, this is your disclaimer. If you need to click away from the video, do that now.
And we dated until the 2010 incident, and then it came to abrupt end because I wanted, we were arguing, and he was threatening me and stuff like that after, but I didn't see him again after he raped me.
What led up to that fight, that 2010 fight that you guys, I know that the argument ensued first before he allegedly raped you?
The argument was about the fact that he had removed one girl from his house and put another girl in his house and didn't tell me. And
also, he was cheating.
He had asked me to break up with my husband at the time. We were just dating, so I was dating Shannon and my husband at the same time. Shannon asked me to break up with my husband, and
oh, they were a hot mess. So both of y'all was cheating. Both of y'all was wilding. Okay, he was moving girls in, and meanwhile he asking you to break up with your husband so he can move you in too. Like, what's going on?
I don't recall for sure, but I think I did. And so it's like, wait a minute, you want me to be with just you, but you want to move somebody into your house and not even tell me? So that's what it stemmed from. He's not a faithful person, so I wasn't going to be faithful to a non-faithful person. It just doesn't work that way. Not for me anyway.
Can you tell us just broadly, I know it's probably painful to relive this situation, but can you tell us generally what happened that day?
It was fighting, and usually we fought on the phone and not in person. So it was the biggest argument that we ever got in. And he was controlling, he was domineering, he was manhandling me beforehand, and he wanted to have sex, and I told him no. I told him no, because you gave it to somebody else. I didn't only tell him no, I told him why. And he wouldn't take no for an answer. So he overpowered me, put me to my knees, put his penis in my mouth. Got enough of that, he put me on the bed. And, this was all a struggle. So I had said no.
Listen, Shannon Sharpe was like 250, pure muscle, and was a defensive player of like the year, I think, in the NFL, and 3-time Super Bowl winner. Of course, he was way stronger than her. Like, if we go, so this is the 325. That's where we're at. If we go back to, I believe, where's that photo at? Here. This is her. This is the young her. Hey, okay. She does her side profile from looking at here. She was cute. She was cute. So now I understand. Because at first I'm looking at her now, I'm like, no. But okay. Like, I see how he ended up. She just aged poorly and fell off. But at the same time, like, bro was wrong. He was wrong. He was wrong. In 2010, he was wrong. He was wrong. He was wrong. Like, I don't find myself like having the air of like disbelief of what she's saying, because it seems to be a very calm, controlled, fairly concise act. Because most when people are making stuff up, they try too hard. You know what I'm saying? To make it believable. Like, she just telling it like, hey, look, this is what happened to me. Like, I'm inclined to believe this.
I had said no, and said no, even though I was thinking that. And so
Plus, Shannon got history.
it was the hardest. Yeah, this is too hard. I remember he got dressed and he knew what he did. And so, I just kind of escorted him out the door. And then I wasn't going to do anything about it. Sometimes when you're with the person for a long time, it's hard for you to realize that they're being the perpetrator, even though you know it, you don't want to admit it. And there's so much going through your mind. But then he started coming at me. If I tell anybody, he'll use everybody he knows to destroy me, which he basically has. And then he started making other threats against my life, threats. He just was so worried that it would get out, and I wasn't going to do anything. But when he kept calling me at work, and when he kept, just very aggressively behaving, and I could see it wasn't going to go away, and he said he was going to destroy me and he was going to kill me, and he told me he was watching me, and all that. I just went and got a protective order. I'd had enough.
Oh, wow.
And unfortunately, shortly after, he doxed me and my address got out, and I had somebody stop by my apartment, which had a door that led right to the side. It was basically on the sidewalk. And somebody came up to my door and said, "Shut up," screamed it at the top of their lungs. And I had my daughter in there right there. And I was like, oh, no. And so I went in and I dropped it, because also at my house, not my apartment, my house, at my house, somebody came to my house and sat out front in the driveway while my daughter was there alone. Someone came to my house, someone came to my apartment, and after my daughter called me, that's when I went straight there.
So after you rescinded the restraining order, was there any other weird stuff, or did it kind of just die down?
It died down. I tried to move on with my life.
Okay.
We may have talked, I think, once or twice. But then he started going on television. He came to my job, Turner Broadcasting, went on TV at CNN, and it was my job to put the videos from up to YouTube for CNN. My job to put the videos from up to YouTube for CNN. That was part of my job. So I'm putting up this video, and here I see Shannon at my job talking about domestic violence, and the co-host mentioned that, oh, you had one that was just totally dropped, made it look like the police dropped it, not that I had gone down and withdrawn it. It created a picture that wasn't accurate. And
fuck, oh my God, bro, hey, listen, Shannon, look, we need it. We need an accurate, okay, and very honest recollection of events. And and when I say honest, I mean also transparent. Okay, recollection of events. I mean, granted, you know what I'm saying. Right now, everything you're doing is making money for you. Is making money for Ocho Cinco. You hired employees and all this stuff. It's a lot of positives. But at the same time, bro, like everything we do in life, you're gonna have to deal with the consequences of it at some point. We never know when, but at some point you will have to deal with the consequences of it. I fully believe this lady. This is one of the few if you watch my channel, you know I'm very like, you know what I'm saying? A lot of times I'm like, okay, it could have happened, it could have not happened. This alleged situation, I believe it. Full stop. I believe it. I believe it. Heck, and if you do it once, you probably will do it again. If that's what you really did. That's crazy, bro. That's man. Yeah, that's crazy. I wish that on nobody. I wish it on nobody. Nobody. I don't wish it on a soul.
That was a very hostile work environment.
I'm going to ask something that might be a little like sensitive and or might sound insensitive, I should say. But I'm going to go ahead and ask it because it's a question that I'm sure people are wondering. Why didn't you file a police report when he raped you?
Because I was scared for my life. He said he would use it. Everybody he knows, and he knows lots of police officers. So I didn't know that if I went down there, that would be one of the people that he knows.
That's valid.
Atlanta has a problem with corruption down there.
Yeah, that's true.
I was too scared to go to the police. Because when this happens, you're in a trauma mindset. You're not in a, every day you and I are talking here like, oh, okay, well, maybe I should do that. No, you're like fear for your life. You're traumatized. You're, you're not thinking straight. Right. You're having anxiety and panic attacks. Like, and I was worried that he would, get a hold of this police officer, and who knows what would happen. And so it was just a decision, and it's a decision a lot of rape victims make, to not go to the police. They always say the woman is crazy. Hey, I might be at this point after everything I've dealt with. But back then, no. Definitely not crazy. And
here's the thing, like, this is what makes her like really sincere, and we'll finish off the last part of this video. It's like she's not trying to convince us it happened. She's just telling it straight like it is. And anytime anybody's able to do that, I'm inclined to believe them, because I'm like, okay, like that must have been what happened, because you're talking straight. Like anybody that's trying to convince you this is what happened to me, like I'm inclined to not believe you, because you're trying too hard. Like the truth doesn't need an advocate. When the truth is told, like honest, sincere truth, it's a light, and it's going to pierce through that veil. It's going to pierce through that darkness. And people are going to have to hear it, and people are going to have to resonate with it. And if you're somebody that's, empathetic, and, somebody that's, sympathetic to people, you're going to feel it when they talking. And I feel it when she's talking. Like, I can see it in her eyes and everything. Like, this is legit. Like, Sharpe gotta explain himself, bro. And I was agreeing with her earlier, because it's a fact. Like, I fundamentally agree. Like, if Shannon Sharpe being who he was, like, I can see her fearing for his life, because he already did that to you anyway. He know where you live. You know what I'm saying? He got connections. He knows these people. He might be able to get you up out of here. Now, whether or not he get caught don't matter, because you just want to live. You don't want to get got. You want to live. And she has something to live for. She has a child. So yeah, she's going to be a bit more cautious on trying to pursue the other options that she had available to her. I don't even blame her.
Hey, I might be at this point after everything I've dealt with. But back then, no. Definitely not crazy. And to see him paint me the way that he did, first off, I'm not somebody crawling out of the woodwork to talk about my connection with him, like he insinuated in his statement. I've been out. I've been suing him.
What's your message to his latest accuser, who's been doxing? What would you say to her if you can send a message to her?
I pray for you. I have been there. I've been dealing with this for 15 years, so I know what you're going through.
Yeah. Shannon, you're probably cooked, bro. You probably cooked. You're more than likely. You're like 85% cooked. This is a more cut. This feels more cut and dry than Tory and Megan Thee Stallion, and because that was like messy. Even though people like pick sides immediately, like this is super cut and dry. Like, bro, what were you doing? What were you thinking about? Like, even if you had them into what you was into, and let's just say you're into race play and y'all are into CNC or free use or whatever that is, right? Like, even if you're into that stuff, right? There's safe words incorporated. There has to be an understanding built first before you get to that level where you're going crazy and y'all doing all it. There has to be an understanding built first, and then at the same time, you have to understand wholeheartedly this person is a human being. There may come a time where they don't want to do nothing. There's been times as a man, I'm going through stuff. I'm like, yo, I don't want to have sex right now. I don't want to do that right now. We arguing. I'm mad, bro. I don't want to do all that right now. And you like, you know what? Nah, you gonna take this. Like, no, bro. No, absolutely not. What's wrong with you, fam? What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? And again, this is all alleged, but this is sounding very factual, actual. Damn. You There's a reason. Look, you're a southern dude, bro. You a southern dude, and I'm gonna get it off the screen. You a southern dude. You know, black man at that. You know the rules. You know the rules. You know what they tell us growing up. That's why I can't have the same sympathy for you that I have for other people. Like, because you know the rules. You know what they say. It's factual, actual. Do not cross that line. When you cross that line, 90% of the time, bro, you're going to get hung up. You're going to get hung up every time, bro. Every time. You know the history. You know the ancestral history, bro. Don't do that. You cross the line. Do not do that. But you insist on it. You insist on it. Because now with her, now we've established a pattern. We've established a pattern. God forbid anybody else come out, bro. Like, you've been trying to proceed on like business as usual, dropping content and all that. Fam. It's over with, bro. It's over with. It's over with. And you cooked yourself. That's the worst part about it. And that's why I did the video with Stephen A. Because Stephen A's talking about all these other reporters and stuff. They need to defend them and all that. And no, at this point, I'm like, hell no, bro. Like, you did this to your fucking self. And I said that last video. You did it to yourself. I don't understand why in the world you would even do this. Again, as a Southern black man. You grew up with the same rules I did. You had grandma, granddad, all these people instilling you this same rule. They only instill the rule because they know how this turns out every time. And it's not to say like, oh, it's okay if the victim was another race. No, it's not. And if you have those inherent behaviors, you probably would have did it to them too. But at the same time, you're more than likely going to not take it there. Why? Because you're going to see yourself in this person. You didn't see yourself in them. You've seen them as something to get off. You've seen them as they were a thing for you. They were I'm at a loss for the word, but they were something that, you know what I'm saying, like you wanted to use. You know what I'm saying? They were object. You were objectifying them. You wanted what you wanted. And now you gotta eat dirt. You gotta deal with the consequences of it. Hey, it is what it is, bro. It is what it is. And I'm bro, I'm hoping this shit ain't true, bro. I'm hoping it's not true, but it's sounding hella true. It's sounding hella truthful. I would, if I was you, bro, just get offline, bro. Just because you're trying to proceed on as normal, and most people don't proceed as normal, and they just like, they kind of duck off and they be gone, and then they deal with all their legal situations, and then they come back. That's what you're gonna have to do. You're gonna have to rebuild your brand. You had one of the biggest years of your life. You was up. But then you were up so high, you felt invincible, you know what I'm saying? And you weren't the same way you was going after other people, the same way you was asking them questions and getting them to answer these things and all that, pulling little skeletons out of the closet during the interview with the little slick questions or whatever. And it might not be you writing the questions, you got an assistant writing the questions, but you're still coming out of your mouth. It carries that energy. Bam. Once you put that out there, you opened your door. You opened your door for everything. And if you're not doing the right things, if you're not living right, and that stuff start coming, like, bro, you just got to deal with the stampede. You got to deal with the stampede of what it is. You got to deal with it. And hopefully you've lived a life of upstanding character and moral integrity to where people give you the benefit of the doubt. But it's tough, bro. It's tough. God bless you, bro. I can't pass judgment on you. You know what I'm saying? I ain't no perfect person. But at the same time, fam, like, you gotta chill out. Like, you gotta disappear. You gotta disappear and come back with a wife your age. And I know that's gonna be disheartening because you wanna date my wage and not my age. I wanna date my wage, but not my age. And nah, you need to date your age, fam. Date your age. Control yourself. Control yourself. Because you ain't the way you've been dating your age and not your wage. That age is now taking your wage. It's messing up the money. It's messing up the checks. It's messing up the reputation. It's not worth it. It's not worth it at all. My thing is, if you offer 10 million and whatever her counter offer was, if you knew you did something even close that could be considered, I would have personally paid. I would have personally paid. If you knew that, you should have just paid it. You should have just paid it because now you're cooked. Now you're vulnerable, very vulnerable. You have no shield around you. You have no hedge of protection around you. None of that. Like people can see in the writing on the wall, because that girl, when you look at the girl, Michelle, when you look at Michelle, that woman now, and then you look at the little girl that you was messing with, how she looked back then versus how that girl looks right now lets me know you have an MO and you have a type, which makes her situation much more believable. Even though you are paying her, it makes it more believable because you have an MO now. You have a track record. And they got you on cam. 4K. And you didn't deny that you was messing with her. Anyway, y'all let me know in the comment section what y'all thinking down below. Thank y'all so much for watching this whole video. If you made it to this point, please subscribe. Please, I need it. I need those subscriptions, man. I'm trying to go up. I'm trying to, hit 10K this year. Anyway,